Hello and welcome to The Hero Spouse. I'm Kendra Ruth, here to answer one of your questions about marriage and midlife crisis. Today we have an anonymous female left behind and forward-moving spouse with a bomb drop of September 1st, 2019 and a date of marriage of 2004. She has a Vanisher who is a high-energy replayer. She says, "You may recall that I've had a lot of fear initiating contact with my MLC after no contact since our legal separation 2.5 years ago. And in this case, there was a lot of angry monster. And he used the legal world against her, I believe. And I think, if I'm recalling correctly, that he and maybe family members, it's a family of lawyers. So, well, she says, I felt ready for contact. He and I were very close to a family member of his who passed away this weekend. The family informed both of us, but they did it separately. That was so nice of them. He and I only knew this family member as a shared experience. We met her just after we were married and formed such a deep bond with her. I felt called to email him a short note to say that I was thinking of him at this sad time. He responded with kindness and said we had quite a few emails backwards and back and forth this weekend, recalling her special memories. I can balance no expectation with hope now. We have kept the emails about his kept the emails to being about his relative and the memories. We both sign off with love, and he's voiced that he's very grateful that I reached out to him, that we can support each other in this way. Do you have advice for me in communication moving forwards?" Really, I think that you need to tread carefully, and I'm saying carefully, not I'm trying to say carefully, not warily. I don't want you to approach this with, when's the other shoe going to drop? They could, they might not, but when I say carefully, I want slowly. Keep it up at the level you are and just maintain smart contact rules. He is open to this contact from you right now, and just be there and be gentle. And it may wane and it may not, but keep this reaching out if you need to. Think about this, maybe, I don't know how long would be the right amount of time, because I don't know what the relational dynamics with this other family member were and the two of you, but what if in 9 months it was to him, he's like, she keeps emailing me about the same thing now. And now and he hasn't ramped up the initiation to a little bit more, I'll say intimacy, but just moving topics and things. It might be, you can keep going, but if he seems to now he might start retracting and getting a little more irritable again. I don't know, though. I'm not even making that as a prediction. Just saying some of the signs to be aware of are you always the one initiating? For now, have some gratitude for the contact that he's showing, because he's showing it with grace. And explain to him. He said he's grateful that you reached out to him. Say, I'm so grateful that you have been open to us being able to have this. I don't want to feel like I'm saying it clinically, and I want to say it in a more intimate manner, but that we can share our memories. It means so much to me because those were special times. Some of the things you can say in your back and forth, they can cross a little bit of a boundary. But be careful and notice when to pull back based on what he says or how he acts, because he has a tendency of getting mad again. And I just want you to be really careful with it. Okay? I think it's a wonderful thing. I'm sorry for your loss. And yet I also think it's very exciting, because that is when people become more vulnerable. And at this moment, he's making himself more vulnerable to you in his grief. But is he going to sew up that vulnerable chasm and go back? I don't know. So be careful. And as you go into the vulnerable chasm, you don't want to rip it open. Just tread carefully. I hope this is helpful. And I'll see everybody in the next question.